There are 122 passages in this week's Torah portion. 119 of them are about the building of the tabernacle, the Mishkan, the temporary residence for God's presence amongst the Jewish people, and the precursor to the Holy Temple. The remaining 3 passages, the first 3 in the portion, are about a different topic, the Sabbath, the Shabbos. The commentators explain the reason why God starts with a few passages about the Shabbos and then pivots to spend the rest of the portion talking about the Mishkan. The reason they explain is to teach us a lesson that as important as the building of the Mishkan was, Shabbos takes priority. You have to stop building the Mishkan on Shabbos. One commentator explains the reason why in a somewhat cryptic fashion. He says that Shabbos is an expression of God's love that doesn't depend on anything. Think about it. If you love a person because of their looks or because of their money, if their looks fade or if they lose their money, well then, Houston, we've got a problem. But if there's a love that's not based on any reason, then that love endures forever. The best example of this is the Torah. God gives it to every Jew, no matter how important your Judaism is to you or how irrelevant, no matter how much you care about being Jewish, whether you're Jewish or Jew-ish. It's there for every Jew. It's translated into your language. You can study it in book form or on the device of your choosing. You can even watch a video about it, hopefully not on the Sabbath. In fact, I don't think I've ever met a Jew at any level of observance who, upon discussion, doesn't find some aspect of Judaism interesting. The complexity and interconnectedness of the laws, the logic in the Talmud, the wisdom of the ethics of the fathers, the beauty of King David's Psalms, the stories in the prophets, the medrash, the customs, the philosophy. There's something in the Torah for every Jew. In contrast, the Mishkan and the Holy Temple do depend on something. It's not the same level of love because it requires us to have a certain connection to God in order to deserve that gift. When we go to Israel, to Jerusalem, and we walk up to the Western Wall, to the Kotel, and we feel that awe. When our spiritual spider sense starts tingling, that's just an outer wall. The Kotel is not even one of the actual walls of the temple. Imagine if you walked into the real temple. You wouldn't be able to handle it. You'd be overwhelmed by God's presence, blinded by the truth of his existence.
You want answers?
I think I'm entitled to.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth!
And not only that, but going into the temple would require something back from us. You wouldn't be able to go back to your humdrum spiritual life. So because we can't handle it, we don't have the temple right now. But Shabbos is different. Shabbos is like the Torah. It's an expression of God's love, and it doesn't rest on any reason. It's there for every Jew, waiting at the end of every week, 52 weeks a year. There are few things that are more exciting in my house than when we get to invite someone over for their first authentic Shabbos meal experience. And they start asking all sorts of questions. Why Kiddush? And why are we washing our hands? And why 2 challahs? And why the salt? And boy, that was good soup. And that was good gefilte fish. And pass the wine and pass the whiskey. And that was a nice song. And that was an interesting point about the Torah portion. And it's so nice to decompress. But why can't I turn lights on or off? And you turn your phone off all day? You can turn your phone off all day and still exist? Yes, we get to take a full day off. It's there for all of us, as a host or as a guest. Once a week, plug in to that highest level of God's love, the Shabbos.